Every pro team knows that he could spin it.
NFL ceilings for Shedeur and Travis. You've mentioned they could be top 5 picks.
They could be 1 and 2.
People are lying on Shedeur. They're lying on Deion. They're lying on everybody, man. Shedeur Sanders was second amongst all quarterbacks at the FBS level with 81.8% adjusted completion percentage, as well as 48% of his passes coming without the help via things like play action, motion, RPO. And today, Deion Sanders has been announced to say that Shedeur Sanders is gonna be a New York Giant. Now, he didn't really say that. What he did say, though, is that he's hoping that Shedeur Sanders makes it to New York, and that's a sentiment that I've also expressed. But there's no video of him saying it. We do have pictures of him talking about it. But in today's video, we're gonna do a few things. We're gonna go and see if we can find any proof of this mystical time of Deion Sanders calling for Shedeur to go to the draft, and then something for fact. We're going to go back in time. We're going to listen to Shedeur Sanders predicting both Travis and Shedeur being top 5 picks back in July 10th of 2024. Everybody looked at him like he was crazy. At this point, it's a lot clearer of a reality that can happen. We're also going to listen to Latu. I don't know how to say his full name. It's one of them goddamn Polynesians. He's a dog out of UCLA. He smacked Shedeur Sanders for a whole season last year, the 4-8 season, and he had some positive things to say. So we're going to hear him. We're going to watch Shedeur throw because he had a new video up. And of course, the man who's presumed to be that #1 quarterback in Cam Ward had his pro day. A lot of good stuff. If you're an Xavier Restrepo stan, a lot of bad stuff. That boy ran an offensive line 40. So lots to get into this video, man. I really appreciate y'all watching these. So if you enjoy them, like it. If you don't, dislike it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content, drafts, things, football. Well, of course, we do plenty of Deion Sanders stuff and everything else in between. I want to start from a blast from the past. This is July 10th, 2024. Deion Sanders proclaiming that both Shedeur and Travis Hunters will be actually top 2 picks in the upcoming NFL draft.
Deion Sanders at Big 12 Media Day. You've been very blunt today, Deion. You plan to win this year.
You want me to be different?
Of course not.
Who don't plan on winning? Is any coach that came here don't plan on winning? Like you said it like it was a newsflash. You're darn right I plan on winning.
Well, Shedeur's good. We saw that all last year. You've been very overt. You think he's the best quarterback in college football. What could we see out of him if there is a run game? What kind of leap can he make if there's some more balance?
See, it's not about him throwing for 4,000 or 5,000 yards. We don't care. Everybody in the nation, this is one of the teams, the Vegas, every pro team knows that he could spin it. We want to win.
What are the NFL ceilings for Shedeur and Travis? You've mentioned they could be top 5 picks.
They could be 1 and 2 based on need and desire from the league. They could be 1 and 2. I don't see many flaws. If there's any flaws in their games, they don't give a darn about that, though. What they want to do is win. They want to win, and they want to go out winners.
So there's our man on the scene in Vegas in your college football.
Love to hear that, and love to hear the confidence. And that was back in July 10th. And again, this is after the 4-8 season. This is after, if y'all remember, the crazy transfer portal situation where Colorado lost an additional 30 players, including the likes of Dylan Edwards, who went on to play at K-State and have not only a great year, but also beat Colorado and really show out and do what he does best. But coming and fast forwarding to now, somebody who is a pro, who has made it to the NFL, who was regarded as, if y'all don't remember, one of the 1 to top 3 edge prospects coming into last year's draft. He had some words to say about Shedeur Sanders. So let's hear what the pro has to say.
I think Shedeur, he's a great quarterback. I remember playing him and his pocket presence and him just being able to be super dynamic in the pocket and, make something happen out of nothing. Is what, I think of the last time I played him. And, he's going to be a great athlete, keeps developing, and, he's going to tear it up in the league.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people agree to those sentiments. Like, I don't want to be here. This isn't some fan page, right? I've been very blunt even throughout the season. You can go watch the videos of us.
Many nights I left.
Wow, okay, that was loud. Live reacting to these games, understanding and seeing some of the causes of these losses. And sometimes it was Shedeur. A lot of times it was Shedeur. A lot of times Shedeur has limitations, but we're talking about the National Football League, right? We're talking about him having a skill set that is not too uncommon with National Football League quarterbacks that, succeed. The Sam Darnolds of the world, the Geno Smiths of the world. I know that's the most, the one that comes up all the time. Kirk Cousins, if you want to talk about somebody who isn't an elite athlete, wants to be a pocket passer and to still be able to operate at an extremely high level. I mean, we don't have to go about the Drew Brees. We don't have to go to smaller quarterbacks who later in his career, because I know Drew Brees had a big arm at one point, but later on in his career was known as somebody with a weaker arm, just be able to cash checks and get to Super Bowls with elite ball placement. That sounds like Shedeur Sanders. And then when you talk about someone who, again, rated as one of the best edge rushers of last year's draft, somebody who is played at the National Football League now. He understands, obviously not to the extent that a vet would, but he is now starting to understand what it means, the game speed, the attributes that would be good and positive for quarterbacks. And at the end of the day, this could just be politicking from Latu, and I'm probably butchering your name. I really apologize. But this could be all politicking from this gentleman here. Because he's young, he's a rookie, he just finished his first year. I think he had a decent year, but obviously it's a rookie year, so he's getting moved in there. I also believe he was recovering from an injury too, so it's a lot going on. But you know, I don't think those are words to just be kind of cast aside and not looked at as if they hold some sort of merit. So let's see a little bit of work. Shedeur Sanders, because I mean we got plenty. Like I said, we're gonna also peek at Cam Ward. We're gonna hear him talk. We're gonna watch him throw. We can't just watch Cam Ward throw without watching Shedeur throw, because you know what I'm saying. We got to equal the playing field. So here he is. He went to Miami, and he came out there. And as y'all know, Deion Sanders is no stranger to Miami, not Miami, no stranger to Florida when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to his roots. I mean, he's from Florida. That's what Deion says. Obviously, played at Florida State. Hey, Shedeur Sanders was committed to FAU at one point in his high school career. So they go back down there and they're going to put some work in here. I won't be able to play if they're playing music. Let me see. Yeah, they're playing the music, so we'll just yap over it. And kind of woof. But that's what I'm talking about. My like we sit here and we're gonna watch Cam Ward throw some balls. He's going Zach Wilson mode in a good way. He's throwing some crazy balls when we get there. But I feel like we do such a disservice. Now that was a bit of a duck. We do such a disservice to Shedeur and even Cam Ward when we do this like unilateral comparisons. And I know it's not a lot of people who are really watching football. Those aren't the people who are, talking apples to apples with Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, because it's just not what it is, right? But when we do that, it just instead of highlighting one, oh, there's Willie Shep showing up. Instead of highlighting the abilities of one of these players, what really happens is that we just sit there and diminish to the point where I think people think that Shedeur can't throw the ball down the field. Oh, and we watch this. We watch the clips of this. He's out there supporting the kids, man. You know he a star for real. Yeah, I mean, really showing the kids some love. The kids love the star, man. They love Shedeur. And this is what I mean, man. This is somebody who could easily thrive in the New York era. Like he knows what it does. He knows what the photo ops is, and the kids already want to see him. I think he's already accustomed to it. But back to what I was saying, Shedeur Sanders can throw a ball now, and Shedeur Sanders makes his money, like I was alluding to, off of placement, off of timing, off of working the quick game. People want to talk about, oh, quick game. Cam Ward jokes with Shedeur. Oh, it was a bunch of screens. Hey, y'all, Brock Purdy went to the Super Bowl off a bunch of screens. Brock Purdy went into a quarterback-friendly offense and handled business. So this idea that, we have to look at Shedeur Sanders because he doesn't have the ceiling that Cam Ward has, which Cam Ward's ceiling is immense. Cam Ward's ceiling is on another level. Cam Ward has Aaron Rodgers-esque arm talent. So when you talk about how far he can go, I think that's limitless. But when you talk about the floor with Shedeur Sanders, let's not, let's not fake the funk. Let's not act like he didn't, lead all of FBS and completion percentage for a reason. You know what I mean? So that was good. That was dope. He's talking to the kiddos now. He's in the school. Y'all go watch this video. This is from the Shedeur Sanders YouTube channel. We don't watch full videos around here. We like to show the people and support that. But let's get over, now that we've talked about Shedeur. Oh, wait, last thing. We talked about this. And this is what I want to ask you. Y'all did a really good job on the Shiloh video. Appreciate y'all commenting. I want y'all to, this is what I want. It's just yes or no. If you got to this video, you're gonna comment down below yes or no. Do you think Shedeur Sanders can be a New York Giant? Now, I didn't ask you, is Shedeur going number 3? I didn't ask you what round. Is Shedeur Sanders gonna be a New York Giant? Answer that in the comment section down below. Yo, see, this is the reason why I was trying to hold off on even making this video, dog. So Deion Sanders has officially come out and said this was a lie again. A lot of times whenever, so that's why I was looking around like, why isn't there what's it called? You know what I'm saying? Like why isn't there a video? Like usually there's videos on these things that he says. So man, look, people are lying on Shedeur. They're lying on Deion. They're lying on everybody, man. Welcome to the NFL draft season. Let's get you right back into the video. So we'll get at you next time on that and follow up. But moving on and moving forward, somebody who just is being presumed, even as we get close to the day, everybody's saying, hey, Titans take him. Titans take him. It feels like the Abdul Carter at number 1 is starting to go away. Now, again, like I tell y'all with every single draft video, everything's a lie. As soon as that college football season ends, everything is a lie. Don't listen to the Jackson Dart hype unless you know what Jackson Dart is. I don't want to disrespect Jackson, but you got to know what it is. Don't believe the Cam Ward hype unless you know what it is. Because in all of this, and we're going to get into the video, but in all of this propping up of Cam Ward, rightfully so, I think he is the most talented quarterback in this draft, bar none. But I think we also, again, this is where I talk about, hey, Cam Ward's great. He's so great. He's so great. Let's talk about the reason why it took him 7 years, and not 7, but what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in college football, even though that's technically a benefit. Shout out Jaden Daniels. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about why he had to go to Incarnate Ward, even though he was a part of a wing team offense in high school. Let's talk about how many years he had to go at Wazoo, and he was not presumed to be any of the caliber he was. Let's not forget that the things that he does that puts himself in the most harm is the overconfidence, is the wanting to push, is playing hero ball. Right now, it's a very short list of, you know what I'm saying, limitations with Cam Ward, but I just want to make sure that we can be real on all sides. So let's hear Cam Ward talking to some NFL Network guys. We have him talking to Jim Wyatt as well. And then we're just going to watch him sling it. All right, let's hop into it.
And you were just talking about how many pro days you watch going forward. Mm-hmm. When does it sink in that you were the front-facing member of this draft class, this moment, given all the journey you've had to get here?
I never really thought about it, honestly. And I'm just blessed to be in a position for all 32 teams to be here. Not only for myself but for my teammates. I've been blessed, and so it hasn't sunk in yet, but I'm excited for the future.
I was talking to Sam Brown, during the workout. Mm-hmm. And, everybody makes this out to be a big production. But he's like, we do this after practice every day. Mm-hmm. Like, did it almost feel like that at some point? Like, obviously the guys, want to put on a good show, you want to perform. But, did it feel like this is our routine? Yeah,
this was practice for us. That's why you seen 2 or 3 reloads. We would get it right back, like what we did at practice throughout the season. So
if you miss a throw or the receiver doesn't get there,
if they don't like how their route was, we getting it back at the end of practice.
Yeah, gotta get it right.
So that's just always our mindset as us as a whole quarterback and receiver room. And I was just surrounded by a great group of guys from JG to Sherpo, Sam, Elijah, Cam. But the script, it was a good script because it was stuff that I did a lot of during the season. So really, I'm just imitating plays I already did in my mind. I'm thinking more of first and second down, third down scenarios. That's why we had some motions on there. And I'm just going through game time stuff. I'm not really thinking about, throwing this specific route and this drop. To me, it's just all game things.
There was a throw that you did on the run, where you hit a dime, and you looked like you turned to the Titans brass, Chad Brinker, Mike Orzanti, and said something to him.
Yeah,
what did you say to him?
I said, I'm solidifying it today.
You solidified
what
it
I said.
Locking it up.
They heard you? They laughed
I made sure they heard me.
So I guess off that tip, the Titans obviously have the number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. They like you. They've had you in the building. What did you want to show them today?
I say not only showing them, but every other team just throwing on rhythm. Whether it's 3 steps on rhythm, 5 steps on rhythm for under in the gun, heavy play action, gun 5 with movement outside the pocket, just showing them all, under center stuff that I didn't get to show as much during the season, let them know that I'm capable of it. Because at the end of the day, the NFL is not playing under center all the time. They're in the gun, but you got to be able to do it. And so that was the main focus for me. And then other than that, it was just making it all about my receivers, trying to throw them catchable balls, make sure not have balls hit the ground. We had a couple. But at the end of the day, you ain't going to be perfect. You always got stuff to get better at.
Yeah, when you hear interviews like that, it's we go back to the arrogant, we go back to that whole the stigma that has been surrounding Shedeur Sanders, right? And then you hear Cam Ward talk, right? And it's a very, and we even talked about this at the combine, where the combine he didn't seem as confident, but you could see the respect was there. You could see there's a lot of grace there. He was being very calculated in the way that he talks. When you hear Shedeur Sanders, and this is no, slight against Cam or Shedeur, but you hear him talk in them well-off media videos, Cam Ward, and talking to Cam Ward, cussing each other out, he sounds the exact same when he's on that podium. So I think it's interesting to see the difference, and not only the improvement that Cam Ward has, because I think the confidence level has risen since the draft interviews, but also to be able to continue that leadership that we've known him behind the scenes to be. Hey, shouting out his teammates, shouting out, hey, this is just what we do. Hey, after practice, getting working. Hey, that's just the type of player that I am, right? So for that, when we talk about optics, it's clear to see hey, this is the number one guy, right? He's got all the talent in the world. He's answering the questions in the right way. So I don't want it to be lost on that conversation of why is the perception there. It does also include the fact that Cam Ward is doing such a great job, being polished, being very, hey, I'm open to everybody, right? And also still having a bit of confidence and say, hey, I'm solidifying it straight to the Titans. And he was doing a lot more than just talking about solidifying. They was kikiing, you know what I'm saying? I know we had a few videos. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, that boy is cheesing. That is oh my god, the Titans GM cheesing ear to ear, dapping up Cam Ward. I mean, I don't know what else you want to be number one, but I think that's going to help you number one. Let's get into this last little bit of interview from Jim Wyatt, asking a few conversations there. Then we're going to watch him just sling the ball, huh?
I think it went good from me working on the clean drops I've been working on 4 months. The receiver court getting what they need to get done route wise, getting in and out of cuts. I think all of us had a good day.
There was a point where you rolled out on one play and you looked over at Mike Bergonzi and Chad Brink of the Titans and said something to them. They smiled. What'd you tell them?
I told them I'm solidifying it today.
Yeah.
They finally got a chance to see me throw in person. I'll get another chance, hopefully to throw in person in front of them. But that's a good building that they got there. Good support staff there. I was able to meet a lot of them when I went there on my 30 visit. And so, I was just happy, to be able to throw for them in front of them for the first time.
And you kind of touched on it there, but what's the interaction been like when you came to Nashville, when you spent time with them in the last couple of weeks? How have you gotten along with everybody?
It was good, from the president, Mr. Chad, to Mr. Mike, to Mr. Dave. It was all good, especially with Coach Callahan. I think what he does offensively, suits me.
Sorry, that's head coach. I said GM, head coach. My fault.
Terminology is not that big of a difference. He gets his guys open. He calls great plays, and so I just think if I get a chance to play with him, we'll have a real good outcome.
My fault for calling Callahan. Look, I don't know what y'all Oilers stealing uniform. I'm a Texans fan. Y'all Oilers stealing motherfuckers. I don't know what y'all got going on over there. So y'all just been y'all been having a quarterback who eats bananas with mayo in their coffee. So haven't been keeping up with what the Titans do. All y'all do is trade away AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. Like I hate y'all. Sorry. But I hope that Cam Ward finds a place there. It's dope to see Callahan or Callie, however they call him, whatever GM, ZM, Liam, Texans in 5, boy. CJ Stroud owns the AFC South, so it don't matter. Sorry, I'm getting a little off topic. Let's watch Cam Ward throw the ball. Great to see his confidence there. Great to see him, being very knowledgeable about the offenses and saying, hey, this is something that I'm not only am I comfortable with, but I am letting the Titans brass know, hey, I'm the guy. That's the way you want to do it. So let's see him sling some balls here.
Here comes the blast throw. Last throw right here.
Uh-oh.
All right, we got a different formation right here. Everybody's, all right, from the inverted bone right here.
Uh-oh.
All right, we've got.
Is Cam Ward at running back?
All right, we got the reverse. Here we go.
Uh-oh, is this a Miami special?
All right, now let's throw it. Let's throw it to Cam Ward.
Okay.
There we go. For the touchdown.
Hey! That's how he ended his pro day. So I want that to be pointed out. This is probably the biggest moment of his pre-NFL career, and he's taken that to have a good time, to show the GMs, to show, hey, I'm a teammate guy. I like to have fun with my guys. I don't really care that all 32 teams here. I'm going to get my crazy throws off. And then the way we end it, because that's how they said it. Hey, that's how we end every single practice, with like a funny little, you know what I'm saying? We going to do it because this is my boys. This is what we love to do. Hey, and that's, I think, a great thing to see. You want a lot of that intangible thing. Is that, oh my God, is that Louis Riddick about to stare a hole through a wall? You hear this, buzzword. Does he love the game? That is how you get that portrayal. He's doing trick plays on the goddamn pro day. Let's see a few more throws here. Ugh. I think this is the one everybody was talking about. No, it's not. But it's still rolling left to Arroyo. That's one of his favorites there. And the ball, of course, is just effortless for him. We talked about Shedeur and his placement. Cam Ward could put a ball in a place as well, too. Let's not – I don't want to get it mixed up. There it is. Ugh. It's just very effortless. He's got Restrepo out there with him, and he's just delivering dots. Delivering dots. Woo! Heat, man. I think this is the big throw. I know it's not, but ooh, it is a big throw there. And everything just looks very, very smooth, man. It just looks like it's supposed to happen this way. Like there. Another play action. Oh, that's the same one to Arroyo. So my fault. I put the same one twice. I'm trying to find if I can find it. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, I think it is this one. Yep, it's this one. This is rolling left. He put that thing, he threw that thing through the moon, boy. To the moon. Absolutely amazing. Now, speaking of Restrepo, he did run a 4.840, historically low for a wide receiver. So, I mean, that boy going to need a lot more help. That's going to be like I talked about with Shedeur and getting, or Shiloh getting drafted where Shedeur goes. That might have to be one of them sympathy picks. A team that loves Cam Ward, they're gonna get Restrepo because hey, familiarity, he knows what it is, XYZ. But running a 4.840 and Restrepo isn't the tallest son of a gun. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what that boy cooking. But great to see Cam Ward throw. Great to see Shedeur Sanders throw. Crazy to hear, Deion is still out there kind of predicting where and what will happen. What do y'all think is going to happen? I told y'all to let me know who's going first. I think Cam Ward has a good chance of going #1 overall. Comment down below what y'all think. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content, draft stuff, everything else in between, man. Y'all be great because you are great. Peace.